Hi, this is Marvin Lindsay. I'm the pastor of First Presbyterian Church in Columbia, Missouri. And in this short video, I want to share with you a technique for reducing stress that I have really appreciated, and maybe you'll appreciate it too as we live in these very stressful times. So let's begin with a stressful scenario you might have found yourself in before. You're driving to work one morning and someone cuts you off in traffic, and you respond by giving them that one-fingered salute, right? And then you tailgate them to show your displeasure until you peel off into your parking place or they peel off, and you begin the day in a grumpy and surly mood. You ever been there before? Well, if it seems automatic how people behaving badly provoke us to anger, understand that it's not necessarily automatic. In between that guy's dangerous driving and your obscene gesture, there was an intervening thought that it kind of formed a bridge between their action and your response. And maybe you were thinking, or maybe we're thinking, that guy's trying to make me late for work. Or maybe you're thinking, people are so inconsiderate these days. I'll bet that guy's driving drunk, and here it is, 8 o'clock in the morning. But what if we were thinking different thoughts? What if we were thinking, I'll bet that guy's wife is in the car with him and she's about to have a baby and he's trying to get to the hospital as quickly as possible? That would generate a completely different set of responses from you, wouldn't it? It's the thinking that makes all the difference. The thinking that goes on in that split second between when something happens out there and we react to it. And there was a psychologist named Albert Ellis, and he outlined this process. He called it the ABCs of happiness. The A stood for activating event. In this case, it's getting cut off in traffic. And C in the ABCs of happiness stand for the consequence. I shoot the birds at somebody. I tailgate them. I rant and rave to my coworkers about how my day has gotten off to a terrible start. But in between is the letter B. B stands for belief. And belief is what we think about that event out there that causes us to respond in a certain way. So this is what Ellis says. If you want to reduce your stress level and you want to live a happier life, then you need the letter D. And D stands for dispute letter B. Dispute that belief that generates a negative consequence or an angry or stressed out response. Maybe he's not driving drunk. Maybe he does have a very pregnant wife in his car that he's trying to get to the hospital as soon as possible. Or ask yourself, do I have any evidence that what I think is true? Do I know that he's drunk? No. Do I have a breathalyzer test I can administer? No, of course not. Or ask yourself, is the way I'm responding to this useful to anybody? Is it useful to be tailgating this guy now? What's going to happen if I get in an accident, if I rear end him? Who's going to get the ticket then? Is it useful to my coworkers that I show up in the office or walk out onto the factory floor in a really bad mood? When we dispute the negative thoughts that lead to negative reactions and bad consequences on our part, then we begin to lead happier and healthier lives. It's not about changing what's happening out there. It's really changing our thinking about what's happening out there and then changing our responses to it. You see, most things in life we have no control over. We have no control over the traffic. We have no control over how long it's going to take for a vaccine to be produced for the COVID-19 pandemic. We have no control over an ex-spouse's behavior. We have no control over whether refs can tell the difference between a block and a charge, or whether umpires can tell the difference between balls and strikes. What we do have control over is how our beliefs about these things happening out there affect our behavior, and whether our beliefs and our thoughts are generating positive reactions or negative reactions. Thinking about our thinking and disputing the negative thoughts and thinking not so much happier thoughts, but maybe just thinking about different possibilities can really help us to respond with a lower level of stress and can help us to become happier people. In the Bible, Psalm 139 says, "Search me, O God, and test me. Know my heart and discern my thoughts." And I've often come back to that passage of scripture time and again. And for me, Ellis's ABCs of happiness have become a kind of answer to that prayer for me. It is in my own awareness of my thinking and kind of taking a God's eye perspective on my own thinking that I'm able to respond and react to the world around me in a more godly way. So that's the ABCs of happiness for you. It's a process that I've used to help lower my stress and help me live a happier life. And I hope it is a benefit to you as we all try to cope with what is right now a very stressful situation. Grace and peace to you. Amen.